Welcome to Dominating Your Investments. Dom Rinaldi here, and I have Codestrap finally on the show. I am so excited. We've just been so busy, the two of us. It's been hard to sync up, and the kids are in bed. Everyone's asleep. We're ready to rock and roll. So we're going to cover a lot of different topics. And yes, we have our bourbon ready to go. So we're going to cover a lot of different topics, and we're going to make sure to cut this up into different time segments because we want to make sure your time is very valuable and you'll be able to just go to the video of the topic of your choice. So we're going to be bouncing around here. So starting out, thank you for coming. And I look forward to doing more episodes with you.
Totally, man. Totally.
So I saw you first talking, well, first on the YouTube channels of all my friends with Amit, Tom, Chris, everyone. But I also saw you on LinkedIn when we were both on the LinkedIn Hyperauto demo, and with the people when the audio was going in video, going in and out, and it was buffering.
Oh God, that was terrible, dude. LinkedIn Live.
So bad for the Palantir guys, and people were leaving, and I was like, wait a minute, that's Codestrap on there. And so I started asking questions, and you started answering them. So I thought that was awesome.
I wonder if they're going to pay me to like keep answering questions on their LinkedIn.
Yeah, you were doing a good job because people were. I was like, well, we're not getting anything told to us because the video keeps crashing. So let's just ask questions.
Totally.
So starting out, I know that you're doing developer work with them for Foundry for Builders. Personally for you, and maybe some other endeavors in the future, and trying to get the awareness in the developer community about this awesome platform that Foundry is. Would love to really, and we're going to get technical in this part of the video, folks. So if you don't know what we're talking about, it's okay. We'll try to make sure to bring analogies. I'm sure Codestrap will be able to do a little better than myself. But there is this CI/CD pipeline. And what it is it's about continuous investigation and continuous delivery of your code when you build applications.
Continuous integration.
See, already, and I should actually know because it's part of what I work in. But it's all around this platform of how developers, this framework on how developers build their code and deliver apps faster, right? And not having these monolithic applications, but instead being able to serve up an application when it's needed and then bring it back. And this gets into the technology that's really driving developers are driving this forward, is microservices and Kubernetes and containers. So I would love to just get your take on how Palantir leverages this, because I believe they have rubrics. Was there kind of Kubernetes language that they named it that they use, but they use Kubernetes essentially as the backbone for microservices. So just as a developer, what can you tell our developer community about what this differentiates when you get this up and running, and how it changes your workflows and allows you to deliver applications faster and just have more flexibility? You've now been doing this for a while, so I'd love to just get the user experience.
Yeah, I think so there are a lot of different actors within the org that can take advantage of Foundry. So it's not just developers, but their approach benefits all of them on some level, And if we look at it, like the foundations of Foundry is like any other one of these platforms. It's like get the data in and get it into a format where we can actually start asking questions. Because raw data is kind of useless. You don't ask questions typically of raw data because it's uninterpretable. So the biggest challenge always is, how do I get it in? And then how do I get it into a form in which a business analyst or someone can look at it and start seeing meaningful things, or data analyst? And so from the developer's perspective, they're kind of like the lowest layer of that cake in Foundry is like the software developer, That doesn't mean that non-technical users can't analyze data. They can in Contour, and they can actually build full data pipelines in Contour. But the way it's built is they take this sort of Git ops, Git flow approach with everything in Foundry. So everything starts with code, and it's all versioned, and then it includes an integrated CI/CD build system. And it also deploys everything for you. And it actually interprets what to deploy from your code. So you never write infrastructure as code in Foundry. You just write business value, and it figures out what you need based on that and how to deploy it, how to
Wow,
optimize it for you. So
that's
like
different, right? That's different than
super different. Like people will often ask me,
oh,
wasn't this the
see,
BI
that's
tool?
not standard in the industry, or they
Yeah.
have the tech out. Okay, so there's a
That's usually several years of work just to get to that layer for a technology company with a dedicated infrastructure team. Well, several dedicated infrastructure teams, not only to do the GitOps portion, but to operationalize all the code repos that would be producing data pipelines and transformations and all that stuff.
So is it fair to say when you explain that there, because I don't want our listeners to miss out, is already we're talking about a differentiator that's providing automation for the developer and saving time, which we all know in the world of business, time is money.
100%.
Um,
Yeah, 100%.
that's
It's
good
like for the developer, it's like you're getting the equivalent of a Facebook light data engineering platform, you know. And I say light because Facebook has deeper integration into some of the tools that are used, and they created a lot of the tools that are used today. But Foundry is like you're getting the equivalent of a FANG company's data engineering platform, like light version, with no work. You just walk in, you've already got CI/CD, you've got code management, change management, integrated GitHub with custom security model. It's not GitHub, it's their own Git implementation. Everything's versioned, everything's controlled, everything's secure, like day zero, and you can just focus on writing data transforms.
So they're not going to GitHub or GitLab to get their code and their repositories.
It's all integrated straight into Foundry.
People don't understand that's
Yeah.
not normal, guys. Like
Yeah.
I know we're getting nerdy here, but for those developers and those, let me put it in layman's terms, the easier way of. So GitHub and GitLab are these companies. I believe both are public now,
Yep.
or maybe one of them are. I can't remember, but they are an open source platform that allow you to put different code repositories and different pieces of libraries of code together so developers can grab, hey, I need this piece of code for my application here, I need this or that.
Yep.
Oh, someone wrote a great piece here. Well, with that, there's also a lot of challenges because there can be nasty code put out there by nation states and cyber attacks, and we're seeing more of this in the world of Kubernetes. But you're saying they approach it differently. Yep. In that
they have security first platforms. So like they have their own version control implementation of Git. It's got their own security model on top of it. And what's cool is that's also integrated with their own ingress and egress rules. So like you can't install packages that have been like activism now is a big thing in people who maintain open source packages, whether it's npm or Maven or whatever. And Foundry will allow you to like totally control the egress and ingress too. So like if you don't want public installs of packages happening, that won't happen in Foundry.
Oh wow.
Like and the reason they can do that is they have an online IDE, and like they control a lot of this by using the online IDE. So like you don't even need to use a local software environment, like development environment. You can actually program straight in the web browser, and they can like control a lot of the dependencies and packages that are included in there. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
I gotta be careful because I work for a security company, and we do some similar things in some areas of industry. I keep it high level, but what I'm just hearing, you can see me blushing of excitement. This is when we talk about when Foundry is 10x better than any application out there. These are examples here. And those who are used to this language in SaaS-based container and developer world will understand exactly what you just said there, of the value propositions there. So let's maybe